Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to our June backyard update.
Yes, we are happy to see you, even though actually we can't see your faces. But
So,
happy to connect with you and keep you updated on what's going on with
yes,
No Harbor.
yes. At first, we had our video produced and we sent out the first one recently.
Many of you have commented.
Yes, you have. And some of the most interesting comments we have, we wanted to respond to. And the first one is how we pronounce our last name. Now, we grew up pronouncing our last name Amendola, and a lot of you probably know us that way, right? But when I started going to seminary to get my doctorate, my first professor was from Italy. And I felt embarrassed for pronouncing my name incorrectly because in Italian, you actually are supposed to accent the second syllable. So it's Amandola or Amandola. So I started pronouncing it correctly in seminary because just I was embarrassed to do it improperly in front of my seminary professor. But then I just thought, well, why don't we just start pronouncing it correctly from now on? So that's. But if you call us Amendola still, that's fine. We're not stuck to it.
I often use Amendola because I've said it for I don't know how many years now.
Yes.
Almost 40. So that's a long time.
So you've been a Amandola longer than you've been a Balsamo.
I have. Crazy.
Yeah. So that's
Anyway.
one thing. The second thing is a lot of people commented on the pizza.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give a couple of quick pizza tips because people say, how do you make that pizza? First thing is, the most important thing is you got to use a super hot pizza stone. So you have to have a pizza stone. You put it in the oven 45 minutes before you're going to cook. You get the oven as hot as it goes. Ours goes up to 550, and you leave it in there for like 40 minutes because the pizza stone has to be super hot to have a good pizza. That's the first thing. The second thing that you have to do is not roll the dough. You have to stretch the dough because otherwise you get all the air bubbles out. And then after that, just use a lot of cornmeal on the bottom so it slides. And then the last thing is you have to have good sauce, and that's her department.
Well, I will say that, he does the dough. I do the sauce. The sauce, okay, there's a couple things that you can do with sauce. I'm just going to give you the cheat way. The cheat way is to use a can of tomato paste and salt, pepper, garlic, of course. That just goes to be said if you're Italian. But oregano is the other, and to go overboard on the oregano more than what you would think, and then probably like a teaspoon of sugar. So the oregano and the sugar are the key for making the sauce.
And it's
like
good.
Pizza sauce, different from then your everyday sauce. But if you want to do it the old school way, you just put tomatoes, not even blanched, but put them through a food processor and then add your fresh herbs.
Yeah, making me hungry.
Yeah, so we had a lot of comments that.
Yeah. So that's how we make pizza. We do it often.
People hungry.
But you have to have you have to have a pizza peel, which is the big paddle, and put it on the pizza stone. So anyway, that's that. So lastly, we wanted to update you on how our current cohort is going, and it is going amazing.
Well, I think before you said that, I just wanted to say thank you for all the encouragement and comments that we got back from those videos, or the video that people saw about No Harbor.
Yes,
Really
and if you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link to it in the email, so you can look at it if you haven't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Regarding our cohorts, as John started, and then I interrupted him, they have been going so well, and this last cohort that we're almost done with now has been no exception. It's just so common to hear people say how they're coming from a place of hurt. Things are stirred up within them, trying to figure things out. Confused, that's also another thing. But at some point during the cohorts, there's these different aha moments. Like, that is a common phrase. I've had an aha moment where they feel so validated, heard, and seen. And it reminded me of something John wrote in his book, just a sentence that I wanted to share with you. I want to read it for you. He will never do that, but I can because I didn't write the book. So many who have left the church hunger for authentic relationships where one can truly know and be known. They long for a safe space where their doubts and questions are validated rather than dismissed, shamed, debated, or explained away. done with institutions that breed trauma. They are desperate for a life-giving community that results in healthy and holistic transformation. And that's often what we find happening in our cohorts for the first time, or it's one of the few times, I will say, not always the first time, where people are allowed to just be where they are. And in that process of being and being heard and sifting through all the doubts and questions, they find Jesus and his love, which is transformative.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that ring true now that, I wrote this probably during the first cohort, so we've had like 5 since then. What's really true is that deconstructing people want transformation. They want to be in a community where they experience life change, which is a very common misconception that deconstructing people just want to leave the church and do whatever they want. They want spiritual growth, and so to be in a place where they can finally be open and share their where they're at spiritually without worrying about someone. I thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. We have people in our cohort from Texas, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Long Island, this cohort, and we have a WhatsApp chat that's going, and people are really active in that. And now we're talking about like having a in-person gathering at some point, because the connection that just grew so deep in the community and the love, just these people who didn't even know each other before, and really now experiencing a transformative community where they're experiencing healing, and not just healing. They're not just getting better, but they're going beyond where they were before to finding ways to again walk with Jesus. Right?
Yeah, I will say the healing fosters a healthier relationship with God, not driven by shame. There's just so much we could say about that, and within a video, we only have a few moments to do that, but it promotes healthy transformation and the experience of gospel love, and that's exciting, and that's powerful.
I just love these people. I mean, I just can't wait to get in on the call with them and just hear their thoughts and experience their love for us, and it's just been really wonderful. Anyway, but you're part of that.
Thank you so much.
Your partnership makes this possible, and we see people who didn't have any hope before really for the first time start to experience some hope. So thank you for that, and thank you for your partnership and your emails. A couple quick things. One is I finished a new blog last week, so the link to that is also in the email, and we're going to release another video on what does it mean to deconstruct, which is a shorter video, and I'll put the link to that in the email as well.
Oh, in this email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your partnership and walking with us as we walk alongside others. It really means so much, and you're making an impact.
So this is John and Karen Amandala signing off until next month.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.